series went from being one
Wow,
of the only
stupid.
franchises that could compete with Grand Theft
Damn,
Auto
I haven't
to
played this yet. I'm
literally
trying to do
killing
this
its
on
parent
for a
company.
series,
What
but
went wrong, and how did one developer
damn,
lose
don't
nearly everything due to one
potentially.
failed game? Well, the story begins in the early 2000s when there was only one open world game that dominated the entire gaming landscape. And of course, it was Grand Theft Auto. The series seemed completely untouchable. That is, until two young companies worked together to introduce a worthy rival known as Saints Row. The first Saints Row game was developed by Volition and published by TA.
Just for y'all to know, and you know, give a fuck, right? But Saints, I wasn't allowed to play GTA when I was a kid, gang. My parents told me no, nigga. I was one of those. Unfortunately, I was really one of fucking those. And that shit is sad. I can't lie. That shit break my heart sometimes when I was legit. But who give a fuck now, nigga? Niggas is, you know, grown type shit. But listen, so, boom. I knew how to finesse, nigga. I was like, I seen Saints Row, you know, because my parents only knew what they heard. Motherfucker. Sorry, I'm not going. When I speak about, I'm not going crazy. They didn't really know what GTA was. They wasn't gonna go out there and look up. They didn't really know how to use YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't know what it's like to be in 2008, 2009, 2010. Like, yo, that's those good times, yo. Yo, I really miss that show, Jake. But like, listen. So it's really like, like, wait, damn. The drugs. Hold on. I got it. Oh, I got it. I'm back. Stupid. Listen. So, nobody ever talked about Saints Row like it was GTA. It wasn't really that popping. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was popping amongst the gaming community, but amongst the media critics and the popular air amongst parents, it really wasn't shit. You are. So, once it's really like that, nigga, it's cool. They not gonna do the research. Hey, I want Saints Row. May I please have that? Please. And yes, I received. Played the motherfucker. And guess what? Perfect. Who needed GTA? Put goddamn back to the video.
HQ way back in
Who gives a shit?
2006. The game
But
was
damn,
developed
man.
unpolished,
That's why I want to play the
using
first ones. I haven't played it yet,
graceful
bro. I
layers
haven't
of
played the
light.
first
It
and the
was brimming
second.
with
I got the
personality, and it
third.
scratched a unique itch that
My fault. The third. Re-elected. That may be the fourth. The president re-elected. Got it how. And I never played the fourth one. Cause niggas be working.
gamers didn't even know they had.
See my
Volition
little
was
Walmart
incredibly
vest on,
smart about
nigga.
how they tried to create a competitor to GTA. They knew that they couldn't beat Rockstar at their own game, and if they tried to publish a typical gritty shooter set in the city, their project would be dismissed as a knockoff. The only way to compete with Grand Theft Auto was to bring something new to the table. For Saints Row, it was the fact that the game didn't take itself too seriously. Where Grand Theft Auto was about realism, Saints Row was about fun. And this starts with the characters, who were exaggerated stereotypes of gangsters, with banter that was packed with fun, not so serious one-liners. The story follows your character as you helped your fellow gang members take down rivals in the city of Stillwater. And while this first installment was much more serious than its successors, it still found a unique voice when compared to GTA. The writing was balanced, keeping the tone light while also allowing one to genuinely fall in love with the main protagonists. There were some deeper themes mixed.
Yo, what the fuck? How did I fuck that up? Yo, what the hell?
In.
Am I slow, nigga? No, that shit just glitched though. Oh. Oh shit. How did that even happen? Anyway.
throw your character into traffic to collect insurance money. It was the perfect balance, and the quirkiness of the game was held up by legitimately solid and engaging gunplay centered on the story's escalating gang war. Saints Row's combination of fun gameplay and unique humor quickly earned the young franchise a healthy fan base. By the end of the year, it had sold more than 1 million copies. Volition had the start of a real franchise on its hands. It was clear that Saints Row had a lot of potential, so both THQ and Volition knew that they had to be very intentional with their next moves regarding the series. They needed to turn their smash hit into an empire that could truly challenge Grand Theft Auto. And at least in the early stages, they would do exactly this. Within 2 years, Volition followed up with a solid sequel. Saints Row 2 was built directly on the foundation that was established by the original. The story is set a few years after the first game and keeps the core characters off-the-wall humor and action and expands on it. And because of this, Saints Row 2 is the most beloved game of the entire franchise. They really knocked it out of the park. So of course, they followed this up with Saints Row 3. The third game in the series takes us to a new city and leans even more into the humor of
I gotta go back.
games. The perfect balance, and the quirkiness of the game was held up by legitimately solid and engaging gunplay centered on the story's escalating gang war. Saints Row's combination of fun gameplay and unique humor gave the young franchise a healthy fan base.
Like,
by the end of
they
the
did
year,
a simulation.
Yo,
They did a simulation of one of the games that made you redo this whole mission, right? And I didn't play none of these games, so that throwback to me, then like I was like, you know what I mean? Like, it's so crazy. Like when you look at it and like look at it from the opposite side of how it was supposed to be and the opposite side of how everything is, it's like that perspective looking at it is fucking insane. I just look at life, you know what I mean? That shit is nuts.
Franchise on its hands.
The fuck?
It was clear that Saints Row had a lot of potential, so both THQ and Volition
that shit is still crazy.
very intentional with their next moves regarding the series. They needed to turn their smash hit into an empire that could truly challenge Grand Theft Auto. And at least in the early stages, they would do exactly this. Within 2 years, Volition followed up with a solid sequel. Saints Row 2 was built directly on the foundation that was established by the original. The story is set a few years after the first game,
that model that
same
scene.
Humor and action and expands
that's
on it.
crazy.
And because of this, Saints Row 2 is the most beloved game of the entire franchise. They really knocked it out of the park. So of course, they followed this up with Saints Row 3. The third game in the series takes us to a new city and leans even more into the humor of previous games. Saints Row 3 feels like a massive amusement park entirely focused on allowing the player to have a good time and cause massive amounts of chaos. And this is also the title where the franchise finally left Grand Theft Auto's shadow and established itself as its own unique IP. And part of this reason is because they continue to drift further away from the serious tones of the previous 2 games and focus more on outlandish, wild, and edgy humor. And as you probably know, this is what Saints Row became known for. To give you a glimpse into the edgy and hilarious themes that the Saints Row series leaned into, let's introduce Johnny Gat. This fan-favorite character is a deadpan, edgy sociopath who always shoots first and never asks questions at all, cares nothing about civilian collateral damage, and is extremely self-obsessed. He says things that he shouldn't say, does things that he shouldn't do, and his edginess is why fans loved him. Fans also love the insane array of hilarious weapons like the Shark-O-Matic.
Johnny! I love Johnny!
Comically large fist that's
man, fucking OG.
The character customization, the vehicles, the combat, everything about Saints Row 3 was extremely unique, and it all had a lot of charm. Volition used this quirky humor as a key differentiating factor to play Saints Row over Grand Theft Auto, and this is a big part of what helped it to excel as a franchise. The Saints Row series had climbed to the top and amassed support from fans and critics fairly quickly, but could this momentum last forever?
My fault. Yo, it's so crazy. Hold on, my fault. Oh, yo, what's good? Yo, Seek, yo, what's goody, gang? Yo. Appreciate seeing you, gang.
Volition was in the process of developing an expansion for Saints Row 3 called Enter the Dominatrix. But as work was being done on this new spin-off, THQ, Volition's publisher, went bankrupt. This was bad.
How you
doing,
though?
Funding for the new expansion and all future Saints Row projects was on hold. This could have very easily been the singular moment that killed Saints Row, but Deep Silver saved the day.
It was too hot, bro.
Deep Silver won the bidding for both Saints Row and Volition, meaning that they took full
I couldn't keep my dreads, like, yo, dreads just hanging all the way down. I really wanted to cut cut them and regrown. I got something that, you know, I ain't gonna talk too much about it, but like, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be cool. There's a reason. There's a reason. It's gonna be fire though. I'm glad you cool, bro. You about to go back to school type shit?
Ownership of the entire studio and would publish future Saints Row games. This was great news for Volition because it likely saved the entire franchise from being cancelled altogether. They now had the backing and financial support to continue to work on the series, and that little Saints Row 3 expansion project now had the potential
You
to turn
ready?
into something larger, a full game. And with Deep Silver being known for publishing other outlandish titles like Dead Island,
I need
they
to
were
play that.
likely much more comfortable than THQ
haven't
with
played
the
that yet.
increasingly quirky and bizarre direction that Saints Row was going in. It was the perfect partner for Volition, and Saints Row 4
glad.
was on the horizon. In 2013, the game
glad, bro.
launched. Instead of the usual semi-grounded gang
Make sure you
battles,
kick ass,
the
bro.
protagonist in this
For
game
real.
somehow developed superpowers, became
games you been
president,
playing?
and needed to fend off an invading alien race. It was by far the funniest and strangest game yet, and it seemed like Volition and many of its fans had fully embraced this new identity. The game was great. Well, for most. Despite the positive reviews, the release of the sequel was a mixed bag. Some fans felt that it had gone completely off the
You
rails
been playing
and
any
lost
games?
itself. As much as the
Still
early
been
games
playing
didn't take
Roblox?
themselves too seriously, they still had respect for the characters and the narrative that they were spinning. Abandoning
Brawlhalla.
the core tension of
I gotta play
grounded
that
gang
one day.
wars
I haven't
seemed
played
like a
that
misstep
in
for
mad
a lot of
long.
people. Many fans wanted the game
Like
to go back to
years.
its roots. And ironically, Deep Silver would later attempt to do this. And like I said, as we all know, it failed. And these fans were even more disappointed when, in 2015, Volition developed another Saints Row game called Gat Out of Hell. This was again supposed to be an expansion, but somehow turned into yet another entirely new game. And
You gotta
the
respect it,
reception
though.
wasn't great. Fans of the original grounded Saints Row style hated this even more than Saints Row 4, and people who actually enjoyed the new style thought it should have just been a DLC for the previous game.
And then
Across
that's
the
really
board,
what it was,
Gat Out of
though.
Hell was widely regarded as something that simply shouldn't have been made, and coming out only 2 years after Saints Row 4, fans were getting a bit worried that Deep Silver
Oh,
was
yo,
going to
Seek.
milk and potentially ruin this
I got a
franchise.
24-hour stream
And oh
coming
boy,
next week.
were
My
you
birthday
right.
next.
Now, real
well,
quick, I was going to
this
dive
week.
into the disastrous
Jesus
launch
Christ,
of
it's
Agents
Monday.
of Mayhem, which was
Oh my
set in the
gosh.
Saints Row universe and was
It's
supposed to
old
be
as
some
hell.
kind of spin-off. But the story of this game could be an entire video, so let me know in the comments if that's something you want to see. Long story short, Volition used the Saints Row name to try to sell copies of this new, uninspired spin-off game, and everything about this game was extremely underwhelming and disappointing. This, combined with the uninspired and pointless release of Gat Out of Hell, really made fans lose hope in the series, and people had genuine concerns that Deep Silver was going to absolutely kill the Saints Row franchise. If the series were to survive, they would need something amazing. And it sucks when a developer ruins a
Yeah,
game
bro, I'm about to be
franchise.
old,
These
bro.
days, we don't even own our games
I'm pushing
anymore. And
30.
If a developer or a platform like Steam
I'm
decide
not that
they
old,
wanted
but,
to
like,
remove
you
your
know,
game from your account,
I'm about to
they
be
have the
22,
ability to
bro.
do that.
Double
In
O.
fact, most games these
Jimmy
days
Butler.
have DRM, which basically means that the games you buy aren't really yours. You can use them as long as the developer allows it, but you don't own it. And this is something that I'm extremely passionate
Damn.
about. I feel like gamers should
I want to
actually
see
be
how I'm
able
gonna
to
be
own
when
their
I'm
games
23
and
in my
not be
on my
controlled by
Jordan
the
year,
rules of
like,
money-hungry
you know what I'm saying?
developers. And to be
Like-
honest, that's why I buy most of my games from GOG.
This dude's giving me an ad. Yo, bro, chill, gang. He's cooking me. He's cooking me.
4 years of near
Sorry, gang.
silence, Deep Silver would announce the newest title
I love the
of
video.
Saints Row series at Gamescom 2021. Interestingly, the new game was a complete reboot of the franchise rather than a direct sequel. Because of the absurdity of the last full release and the even more absurd expansions, the devs believed that they had written themselves into a corner. As stated by Jim Boone, the chief creative officer at Volition, even though we love the mechanics with all the superpowers, there isn't
Yes, sir. Be safe, be blessed.
a whole lot of
Be
runway to go
positive.
past that. It's why it was a pretty easy decision to go back to our roots and do something that was more contemporary. This reboot was supposed to do exactly that, take the series back to its roots and give it a fresh start and the chance to recapture new and old fans alike. It's easy to make a case for why this was a good idea. I mean, Saints Row 4 was nearly 8 years old, and gaming had come a
Okay.
long way in that time. Although the franchise's sequels
I haven't
had
seen any
innovated in
gameplay. I haven't
numerous small
played it,
ways, each game
nothing.
still relied on the same basic
damn.
formula that was now almost 2 decades
I keep my
old.
shit like
The
Timmy
reality
Turner, bro.
is that many fans were calling for the series to end by the
Gotta wish
third
for a
game,
burner.
and even more thought it should have
Wow.
stopped at the fourth game. People had liked Saints Row, but they were beginning to feel like the series was just getting milked for money. The devs needed to prove that they actually had interesting ideas for those sequels and that they were more than just a cash grab. And although there were certainly benefits to a reboot, there were also a lot of downsides. Reboots have gotten a pretty bad reputation in recent years. Fans are tired of childhood favorites being puppeted by cynical companies looking to profit off nostalgia. And that was part of the reason why fans reacted harshly when they realized that none of the old characters were returning for this game. Instead, we were getting an entirely new cast and story. And the writing changes weren't just limited to new characters, but a complete tone shift.
Alright, I'm gonna tell you how they fucked up. I didn't play this game. I'm gonna tell you how they fucked up. You reboot it, right? You reboot it back to where the original character you made in Saints Row 4, which was the president. And I'm giving y'all a free game. Word to my mother, y'all niggas need to come pick me up, because I'm giving y'all a free game. Because this is really what I want to do for real. Look. That nigga goes to jail. Feel me? But it's almost like it's the Donald Trump situation. Feel me? No bullshit. He's committed crimes. He was a gang lord. And then there's like an attorney that's trying to become the president. He was a mayor. He was strict law. Now this dude is going to jail, bro. He's on death row. Feel me? Now the family's trying to get him out. They trying to free him, but they also trying to keep the gang together. That's all you had to do. All you had to do. Feel me? Now all you got, look, you got a heist. You have multiple different heists, right? Because now you have to get him out, right? That original character that you created, you can even make him look like Johnny Gat, bro. Or Johnny, whatever the fuck we call it. Yeah, Johnny Gat. That's all you gotta do. Boom. You gotta create the heist. You gotta rob banks. You gotta get the money. You gotta get the team back. You gotta you gotta steal different bases from other gangs because the territories got taken over. Feel me? Almost like how Spider-Man and Miles Morales has the different bases where you're fighting you're fighting the NPCs to try to get the base back because it was corrupt. It was all like, and then do the heist similar to GTA. All you had to do was literally simple and in your face. But I think corporate be overthinking dumbass shit. Like, bro, you really gotta, if you want to splice it up, reboot it, and make it for the culture and bring it back, you have to do it the right way, bro. It's a way to do it. Feel me? It's a way to do it. You create the heist, you break them out. You feel me? The family's back together, and all of them are old. They're old now, so like they're not gonna move that fast. So when they do certain shit, it's like surprising to the audience. It's like, oh shit, what the hell? Damn, I forgot her name, bro. I've played that game for so long. Lana? I'm gonna say Lana, but I could be thinking about Shorty from Archer. But Shorty bad as hell. I want to see how she look like a granny. You know what Twitter gonna look like when that shit pop out? It's gonna be popping. It's gonna be top 5. Damn, Shorty look good as hell. Blah, blah, blah. Damn, MILF. Boom, niggas gonna buy the game. Oh damn, I want to see that. Oh, I want horny ass dumbass niggas. Boom. Yo, free money, free game. Like, yo, all you had to do was in your face, bro. And I'm free balling, my nigga. I'm free balling, nigga. This shit easy money, nigga. Know how to make your games proper, bro. Come hire me, gang. I'm free.
Edgy humor that had made people fall in love with the franchise was gone. Instead, the devs had attempted to shift to a writing style that was meant to appeal to younger audiences. I say attempt because the writers completely dropped the ball. Every word of dialogue in Saints Row 2022 comes off as trite and cringy. A game series that was known for its unique humor was suddenly dropping awful lines like this.
Get the f away from my friends.
Saints Row's main characters had always been parodies of the traditional gangster. By contrast, the new series...
Like, what? Get the fuck away from my bitch. Oh, shit. Like, bro, spice that motherfucker up. Like, y'all cook... Yo, I'm not... Like, I love everybody. I want to say that. I want to say that. Stop cooking our chicken with salt and pepper, my nigga. You got to put some Creole seasoning in that motherfucker. Some onion powder, garlic. Fucking unseasoned motherfuckers. Y'all don't know shit. Yo, put a young nigga in the building, yo. It don't even matter if it's me or not. Nigga, just put somebody young that got the mindset to know what's up with the games, bro. And what's up with your community, bro. Every company needs a Ronnie 2K. Every company needs a Ronnie 2K, bro. But a Ronnie 2K that's actually more helpful with games, my nigga. You know what I mean? A representative. But anyway.
Was trying to replace them with a
See,
squad
remember?
of scrawny-
You gotta remember, the Yeezys and Aquarium, it probably wasn't a game. But that was probably something he pitched, more than likely. And he really, really wanted it to be in the game. Feel me? That's somebody that's in the background that's still putting in work. Every company needs one of those. And that's gonna be the face of their company. I don't know why these dumbass motherfuckers is not thinking that high. And if y'all looking and y'all saying, oh, I love y'all. I'm just really heated that it got to this point in this industry. But I love all y'all. I want to succeed. I want everybody to make money. Make all the money in the fucking world. But you gotta know how to make the money right. It's business.
millennials who were actually trying to be cool and just weren't. I mean, just take a look at the comments
the
on the
same
reveal
budget.
trailer. The reboot was supposed to be a return to the series' roots, yet Saints Row had never felt less like Saints Row. Right off the back, the game was met with a ton of hate from fans. Trailers are supposed to be an opportunity for companies to put their best foot forward and generate hype. And somehow,
Damn.
this trailer had
I'm still gonna
actively
play it
pushed
just
people
to-
away
just
from
to
buying the
get
game,
my final,
and things
you know.
were only going to get worse. Almost right after the
See if
announcement
I
of
was
the
right.
reboot, it was revealed that Mike Watson, aka Idle Ninja, had passed away.
Damn.
Watson had been one of the most influential modders in the Saints Row community. He was responsible
peace,
not just for
gang.
some of the best mods in the community, but also for working on an official patch for Saints Row 2 to fix many of the issues with the PC port. Watson had been battling cancer for a while, but that hadn't stopped him from pouring his heart and soul into the community. And some fans felt that the reboot was a slap in the face to his legacy. Others felt that the studio should be dedicating more resources to finish the patch that Watson had been working on before his death to ensure that the project was finally completed. Regardless of the quality of the Saints Row revamp, it's undeniable that many at Volition cared for Watson and were genuinely devastated by his passing. A lot of the insults and digs that fans took at grieving employees were legitimately uncalled for. However, it was also a representation of just how much Saints Row fans had turned against Volition. In many ways, Mike acted as a bridge between the company and fans. His loss ensured that the divide between them was only going to grow wider. The game hadn't even dropped, and Volition was facing a fan base that was more against them than they had ever been before. But it was too late to cancel the game or make any big changes. All they could do now was
nosy as
release it
shit,
and
open
pray
my
that the
business,
full
pussy.
experience was a lot better than the trailer led people to believe. Saints Row was released on August 23rd, 2022, with all the grace of a car crash. Somehow the game was even worse than players thought. Even critics who usually give everything positive reviews were trashing the game. It was buggy to the point of being unplayable. The graphics were dated and lifeless. And it wasn't just the graphics that felt old, but the entire design of the game itself. In an attempt to go back to its roots, Saints Row somehow only succeeded in bringing back outdated design choices that modern games have avoided for years. The game is packed full of repetitive side missions that are tedious more than anything else. Practically every side quest boiled down to stealing something or shooting someone. There are annoying stealth sections, which as we all know, people hate. The AI for enemies is incredibly stupid, and you can't even interact with most of the world. There are bicycles you can't ride,
I feel like-
casinos you can't enter.
I feel like, like I said, I haven't played this game. The graphics for this is so disappointing. Like, Jesus Christ, do you want to make money? Like, it looked like, oh my gosh.
And much
Like I said, I
more.
haven't
In the
watched
modern
none of this.
era, where open world games like Red Dead Redemption 2 and Breath of the Wild have become the standard, Saints Row 2022 was laughably outclassed. But the real disaster with the new release was the absolutely atrocious writing and corporatized lifeless.
Come on, motherfucker, what the
All the
fuck?
raunchy and edgy jokes of past games were actively sanitized to the point in which nobody really understood who it appealed to. The game's characters came off as sitcom teenagers rather than hardened gangsters. There was no depth to these characters and no attempt to get us to like them. They were all basically archetypes that existed to do nothing but spout quirky one-liners that weren't even funny, and you could feel Volition's desperation to be hip with the kids oozing through the screen. But more importantly, the game didn't have anything to say. There could have been real comedy in this setup. You have a bunch of loser, privileged teenagers acting as wannabe gangsters. If Volition leaned into this, there maybe could have been potential for a lot of actually good jokes. And something like this
Wait.
is somewhat different.
Are they? Maybe I shouldn't ask, but are they even a part of the the family? Like I know it was a gang, but like they were a family. Like it was like a mafia shit in the original, bro. Like then he became the president. They had all the districts. I don't know. I haven't played it. Are they a part of the original? Like, are these like free balling ass niggas that's just running around claiming shit?
Different from the past Saints Row sequels.
I'm
but
confused.
that wasn't what happened. Volition made their cast boring and tried to toss in every buzzword they could justify, and it came off as a painfully corporate attempt to seem modern. And the poor writing poisoned the rest of the game. Some of the other design choices could have been forgiven if the game at least made you laugh, but it didn't. So, in the end, we were left with a game with dated mechanics, terrible writing, and so many bugs that it was practically unplayable.
I am
It should be
confused.
obvious how Saints Row became one of the worst reviewed games of 2022. It was undefendable.
I feel like I'm sorry. I keep pausing. I feel like I can find an answer for everything in the world, bro. I promise you. I really feel like that the answer for that. But what I can't ever really get the thought process through is how corporate continues to want to make more money, but they don't want to invest, right? But not even really invest, but they don't really want to. They want to change everything to have it their way instead of keeping it the original way. And I get it. The reality is you want the money, you want it now. So if you change stuff fast to fit the budget to keep going, then fine. You have it, you thrive, right? But the reality of this situation, if you just, it's like, damn, I gotta, motherfucker. It's like stock, bro. When y'all was originally doing stock, wasn't y'all just chilling, waiting on it? Yeah, y'all was, but y'all was chilling, waiting on it. You feel me? Y'all wasn't just waiting. Oh my God, just go up, please. Stock. I need my money. I just put $200 in you, baby. Give me 10,000. You know what I mean? Yo wasn't fucking doing that, my nigga. You put that bitch in that motherfucker and you went in. I gotta stop cursing. You put it in and you waited. Why are you taking a different route when you know that was the route of success? See, you're trying to control the different situations of success. You knew what you know what to suck. You also have other different options to make money. Like, why are you playing with different faces of money? And I get it, nigga, taxes and everything, but hey, be patient. I don't understand. Like, because I can't understand, it's like I can't really speak on it. You know what I mean? It's terrible. It's terrible. I fucking hate it.
Saints Row was a disaster from
Damn.
a corporate perspective as well. Volition's parent company, Embracer Group, immediately entered panic mode. The
Sheesh.
CEO released statements expressing their shock and disappointment at the game's reception, which is crazy because they should have seen this coming. Saints Row was in a particularly horrible spot too because Volition had burned so much goodwill from the fan base that it was unclear if they could ever even bounce back.
Yeah, they
Frankly,
can.
a good
It's
amount of
easy.
fans had already sworn off the series for good, and another sequel wasn't going to fix that. And all of these factors led Embracer to make a pretty tragic decision. They shut down Volition. The studio was merged into a subsidiary
about that.
company of Gearbox Entertainment, who was just
Damn.
acquired by Take-Two Interactive. So now, there are so many levels in the structure that Volition is pretty much irrelevant in the grand scheme of things, and that, at least for the foreseeable future, there is
Let
little to
me,
no hope
like,
of Saints Row
I
coming
need,
back and redeeming
you know what I'm
itself.
saying?
And there's
Like,
something kind of sad about that, but a lot of people may look at it as a good thing. So is Saints Row dead for good? Maybe. The rights to the game still belong to Deep Silver. They may choose to bring the series back, but it's more likely that the game is finally laid to rest, especially since they no longer own Volition, and they only own the rights to the IP. Honestly, the whole reason that any of this happened is because Deep Silver's insistence on milking the franchise for all it had. And because of this, perhaps it's for the best that the game is finally done for good. Would you guys want another Saints Row, or do you think